Sri Konda Vishweshwara Reddy.
Thank you, sir. Sir, this bill has a long history. It's been 17 years since the making. In 2000, Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee formed a committee. Last year, we passed the 101st Constitutional Amendment, and we had various meetings, cabinet meetings, as well as with the state governments and the GST Council. The result of the above meeting, we are right now discussing the 4 new bills the Finance Minister introduced. The Goods and Services Tax, it repeals many old laws, including the Central Excise, the medicinal toilets, and various other acts it repeals. The additional duties on textiles, etc. The Integrated Goods and Services Tax Bills, the Union Territory Goods and Services, and the Goods and Services Compensation to State Bill, sir. And finally, we are passing these 4 bills today. But today, sir, is also the Ugadi, the Telugu New Year. And in Ugadi, sir, we prepare a ceremonial concoction, a drink, made of tamarind and water and little pieces of coconut and pieces of mango and sprinkling of salt and neem flower, sir. Sir, it is Kattha, Meetha and Khadwa, sir. The bill also, I think there are a lot of Meetha things, there are a little bit Kattha things and a few Khadwa things also, sir. But in the end of it, this Ugadi Pachadi is healthy and wholesome. So also I feel at the end of this, it will be healthy and wholesome for the nation, sir. The main benefits, sir, is uniformity of tax rates, structures, removal of cascading effect, improved competitiveness, simple and easy administration, better controls and of leakages, increased revenue, free flow of goods across the nation. Faster movements of goods also leads to smaller inventories as both for traders and manufacturers, because they don't need to stock larger inventories. It also increases their profitability, sir, because the capital locked up in inventory is freed up, the capital cost, the credit and the loan cost comes down. And these are all very, very Meetha, sir. It also probably less corruption and more tax compliant and law compliant nation, sir. While all this is very sweet, sir, there are many issues that need examination. Firstly, sir, the risk of exemption, Section 11 of the CGST bill provides for exemption. Sir, GST is truly a value-added tax, sir. If I'm a businessman purchasing goods and services from a supplier and then selling my own goods, I will ensure my supplier will charge me tax and he'll pay it to the government so that I get the input tax credit which I can subtract and pay. My supplier will do the same to his supplier and so forth. So it will form a compliant, tax compliant, self-enforcing chains. But in case of exemption, sir, it does exactly the opposite. If I'm a builder building low-cost housing, I'm exempt. So I will force my supplier to sell me steel and cement without tax. Bill ke bina de do, tax ke bina de do. And he will force his suppliers. So the exact opposite may happen. It will influence the final consumer to make everyone in his supply chain tax non-compliant, sir. So, but more than this, sir, in case it applies to builders and healthcare services and hospitals, many hospital bills are tax exempt. So hospital has so many inputs like stents and catheters and things like that. So compliant hospitals will have a competitive disadvantage, and non-compliant hospitals and non-compliant builders have a competitive disadvantage. The very essence of the GST, the very principle of the GST gets defeated in this manner, sir. This can be a little bitter, sir. Madam, sir, Section 171 provides for anti-profiteering, and many people raise this. I think that was just a political appeasement or a playing to the gallery, sir. It is absolutely not necessary in this, because profiteering implies something illegal or unfair. In a free market, who decides what is fair and unfair? The market decides. And who decides what is legal and illegal? The judiciary requires. So I think this is simply inserted there. It was unnecessary to include because it gives way for harassment. While it has no benefits, it gives way for harassment. and it can be potentially quite Khadwa, sir, because Prime Minister said maximum governance, governance and minimum government, sir. It can be the opposite. The place of supply chain is another such thing, sir. So the place of goods in the supply chain. If I buy 100 computers, I'm Infosys, and if I buy 1,000 computers and supply 300 to Infosys Bangalore, 300 to Infosys Noida, and rest I use in Hyderabad, who gets this tax credit, input tax credit, which state? So this is a little ambiguous, sir. If I buy a Subway sandwich in Delhi and eat it in where I consume, if I eat it in Gurgaon or Noida, how does it matter? So it's the payer. I think there has to be clarity on this, sir. There are other ambiguities that require clarification, sir. One of the things I think as a trader, especially a commodity trader, I keep buying steel or some commodity which is taxable, and the prices of steel, we say, got fluctuated. So I can offset the highest price of steel which I purchased against today's sale price, sir. And there may be an unfair advantage to a trader and less. And in a stock will always be, the stock in trade will always be the lowest price that he purchased. So there are some ambiguities like this, sir. Then, but the most important, sir, if I'm a very compliant businessman, I buy from a supplier, he gives me a bill, but he doesn't upload his taxes, he doesn't pay to the government. Do I get the input tax credit, sir? Why should I pay for a crime my supplier committed? So I think this needs to be avoided. And another thing, sir, if we are finally going to get a refund, am I going to get a refund? Is somebody else going to get a refund? On tobacco, sir, we are charging per stick. On every other product, we are charging on a value basis, in this on per stick. So it gives undue advantage to high-price cigarette manufacturers who are mostly MNCs, and an undue disadvantage to low-price cigarette manufacturers who are probably local, sir. Another thing, sir, India is a diverse country. Just medium, large, and small T-shirts doesn't fit all of us. There are only 4 tax slabs, sir. Yes, they are added extra large also. There are 4 tax slabs. So will it fit all the products and all the commodities? Absolutely not, sir. Absolutely not. And this is something which the states have no control. It's in the hands of GST Council. And this is also something I really don't know whether it's good or bad, sir. इसका टेस्ट भी मालूम नहीं पड़ रहा, ये खट्टा है या मीठा है. बाद में मालूम पड़ेगा. After the GST Council passes the rates for each one slab, sir. Just for example, sir, coconut oil in Kerala is an edible item, and in Rajasthan, it is a hair oil. The taxes there is 14, the taxes in Kerala. So there are certain things, sir. We are India, we are not Canada, we are not United States. There are certain things, sir, we are different, and definitely the states, what we are talking about, fiscal federalism, I think we cannot compromise. But anyway, we need to go on. So I think that is the spirit of the House today. We want to move on and probably take a great leap of faith, and faith in our finance minister, faith in our prime minister. And that's why probably there's not many people objecting to this. Lastly, sir, compensation to states. Compensation to states. Not all states are growing at 14%, sir. Some are growing less. And a state like Telangana is growing more than 16%, sir, under the leadership of KCR. So we can't be hampered down with a 14% refund. Yeah, just 2 points, sir. Last 2 points I'll conclude. There are larger issues, sir, the fiscal federalism that I think everyone covered. And most importantly, sir, the probable hikes in the cases, the disputes and before the tribunals, high courts, and the Supreme Courts. I'll skip through the points, sir, but I'll go to the last. I'll conclude, sir. The Prime Minister said the consensus over the GST is proving that Rashtrniti is above Rajniti, and I congratulate the government and the Honorable Finance Minister for the different state and the finance ministers of different states, sir. Telangana, sir, we need a lot of our money is spending with the government.
Mohammed Salim.
Yeah, just one minute, sir. Just 1 minute. A lot of our money is government. There's a dispute on it, but at least what they agree, let them pay us. And finally, sir. Finally, it is definitely a leap of faith, sir. I hope it takes us to a new era. There are many concerns, apprehensions, ambiguities, but still we are going ahead. Nevertheless, despite of all this, we support and we have faith in this government. Today is the new year for the Telugu, sir. 1 minute, sir. And, but let it also be a beginning of a new era for the nation and for a strong India. Thank you, sir. Thank you.